Well, what a sight this is. The colour, the choreography, the camaraderie. The fans have pulled out all the stops to make this a monumental occasion. Well, the pre-match build-up has been fantastic. Now, the game itself. And that gets things running. Who do you, Jim, see making the difference here?
Yeah, Marquinhos, he's one of the toughest and most competitive centre-backs in the business. He's the kind of player you can rely on to always be just where you need him, making a vital interception or just making life difficult for the opposition to get through.
Shot, surely! It's bounced back off the post. And that's what you call inspired goalkeeping.
Really looked sharp there, didn't he? That's very well played. They've got a healthy number of very tall targets to pick out from this corner.
Grimaldo gets it away. Paris Saint-Germain have the chance to go the other way. And he's worked it through. He has found the way through. There's a beautiful simplicity about this contest. Willing running on one side, dogged defence on the other. Colorado Springs couldn't do a whole lot with it there. They could do with more sharpness in their passing. Dani Olmo. Grimaldo. Oh, well played, well sorted out. And it's Del Piero. That is good alertness.
This is the time you need that pace.
Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. If you have just joined us, well, you've missed no goals. Yamal. Played out wide. Zanetti. Long ball looking to counter. Zanetti got a long way forward to join the attack.
Diouf really needed to concentrate on protecting the ball. Then again, he was being very closely marshalled.
That's good running with the ball. Lovely pass, but can he get there? Showing good feet. Applies the finish! Oh, the keeper's done ever so well.
Del Piero is offering a wry smile there.
Looking to pass their way up the pitch. Now he's got space here. Expertly cut out, really nicely done. Shapes to shoot! Goal! Paris Saint-Germain! And Paris Saint-Germain take the lead. Well, it would have been harder to miss.
Well, that's really well played, Peter. You have to appreciate the simplicity of it all. A killer pass, perfectly delivered.
So we have the first goal.
Yeah, it's rare that one is enough, though, Peter. I get the feeling they'll be wanting another as soon as possible.
Corner number 2 then. Terrific effort! Firm header just off target.
And he did so well to get himself there. What a good effort.
Maldini promptly onto that. And that is the end of the first half. A very combative, competitive half with just the one decisive moment. It's been compelling stuff. Colorado Springs finding themselves behind by just one goal at the break.
It's been a pretty tepid display. They'll want to use this break wisely to regroup and come out with some fresh initiatives. This is all still very salvageable, maybe even winnable.
Well, that just about sorts out the first 45 minutes, and we'll be back with the second very soon. And so the action is resumed.
Well, I think in these circumstances, it's all about how to adjust the balance of your team. I mean, you want to get back in it as soon as possible, but without leaving yourself too open.
Some intricate passing, looking to progress the ball. Colorado Springs come out this half somewhat altered.
I'll be fascinated to see how the change now affects their overall strategy.
Del Piero. It's loose now and they want to get it back. Colorado Springs have their third corner. And now they can spring out of defence. Oh, that's well done, really robust. Hullet is onto this. Oh, there's a probing ball.
Well, it's definitely the right attitude and application, Peter. They've got to keep pushing.
Well, they're looking a whole lot more at... There's the shot! Xavi Alonso. And there's his chance to lead the counter. Nicely weighted ball. And it's made its way to him. Del Piero! And that is wildly off target.
I think that's just more proof that this team is very comfortable playing on the break. They're really swift.
Aimed beyond the defence. Lovely feet. Out for a throw. Grimaldo. Pinches it off him. So, Jim, what are you thinking?
Well, there'll be no accusations of a lack of effort.
It's Dembele! Looking for the run. Now it's Pato. Now it's Ribery. Half an hour gone in the second half. He's found a way through and he shoots! And the difference is still one, but only just.
Kohler is clearly gutted about that one, but he needs to shake it off and go again.
Passing is crisp and sharp. Nice sequence of passes this. And he's made sure that's not getting through.
They may end up with some regret with this tactic, but you have to admire their commitment to goals.
Passes coming off in quick succession here.
Paris Saint-Germain can really think about the precious seconds that took off the clock. No need to overly commit now.
Nedved.
Well, he got rid because he was under pressure.
Gyökeres. Oh, that's a key interception. And this is Ribery. Ribery! Loose ball now, and there's a chase on to retrieve it. And that's it. They chased and chased. but it wasn't to be. Quite a game, and one that was always on a knife edge until the very final whistle. No shortage of endeavour, effort, at times effervescence, but just one goal to show for all of that. The noise is just about reaching a crescendo here as these two sides get ready to lock horns. This is football at its finest. Well, colour and passion just oozing from the stands here. These fans love their football, and we're about to be dished up a feast of it. And that gets things running. We're talking a genuinely stylish player here in Frank Rijkaard. You're not arguing with that, Jim, are you?
No, I've got to totally agree with every word you just said. As holding midfielders go, he is one of the very best. Nothing phases him.
Looking for the run. Xavi Alonso. Searching pass he's played there. Van Dijk spots it and intercepts. Pass is coming off in quick succession here. Pull it! It's run loose. Who's going to get there? Has a look and place it forward. Oh, nicely intercepted. Quarter of an hour played. He's being urged to shoot. And it's Vieira. And here's Nedved. Xavi Alonso. No goals as yet. And here's Suarez. Well timed, excellent interception. Hullet. Oh, and Hullet!
Hullet really had a clever trick to shake off his opponent then, but he's left shaking his own head in disappointment.
Always goal side. Can he finish? He's beaten the keeper, but hit the post. He's scored! He won't get many simpler than that, but he's certainly not complaining.
Well, I admire players who do that because they just don't give up on anything.
So we have the first goal.
Yeah, but I think they all know too well that things are far from done here, and while there's never a good time to be caught out, you definitely don't want it to be.
Luis Suarez! And that is wildly off target.
He just didn't catch that one right, and he knows it.
Mateus, and that's been intercepted. Now it's Messi. It's great defensive work. It doesn't take too much imagination to guess what would have happened otherwise.
Well, he's not the type that's short on self-belief, so that could rub off on his teammates now.
Well, that defending is unapologetically persistent. It's almost personal, and it had to be. Bergomi. Vieira. Looking tidy in possession here. Rijkaard did well to emerge with the ball. That's a contest to keep an eye on. Vieira. And Mateus. And we've reached half-time. A very combative, competitive half with just the one decisive moment. It's been compelling stuff.
Well, obviously things are not good, Peter. It seems the team were just a bit too busy playing within themselves. Too tentative. They have to improve and make it fast.
So that's it for the first half, and everyone takes a well-earned rest. So off we go again.
Well, I think in these circumstances, it's all about how to adjust the balance of your team. I mean, you want to get back in it as soon as possible, but without leaving yourself too open.
Oh, well played, well sorted out. Quality ball. Mateus. Can he get on the end of this? And he's worked it through. And now the breakaway. And it's Messi. Nice interception, well timed.
Well, Peter, just see here how a lot of the attacking players aren't dropping back anymore.
And that means just one thing, I suppose.
Yeah, they just simply want to engage the counter-attack.
And that is headed for the middle. And he's there to clear it. Del Piero is the guilty party there. And he has shown him a yellow card. So time for change, and this one has been on the cards for a little while. Lam is one of those players who's known for reading the game better than anyone. Your impression so far, Jim?
Look, they may be one down, but they're not shying away. Time is on their side, and they're set on using it.
Griezmann, a player so deservedly decorated with praise and glory. Nicely aimed pass. Mateus. Nedved. Oh, facing up to his adversary. This is a formidable matchup. Now it's Pato. Goes for a shot!
Size really matters, and it's time to make it matter now.
He's rising! Firm header, just off target.
That's a great attempt, although he clearly feels he should have done better with it.
Aimed beyond the defence. He's got away. Taken back almost at once.
Keep calm and carry on. That's the job in a nutshell now.
That is ended up in no man's land. Oh, good read.
That was well played, well stopped.
Now it's Pato. He's having a hit! Deftly away.
He has saved the goalkeeper's blushes there. What great defending.
Tries to pass it through. Good ball, good take. Adriano.
Lexington can really think about the precious seconds that took off the clock. No need to overly commit now.
Oh, this looks sharp. Dixon. They knocked and knocked, but there is time for no more. So in the end, one goal did it. An exciting encounter where both sides produced a genuine effort to go on and win it, but neither was able to add to the scoreline in the end. How would you summarise what we've seen today then, Jim?
Well, I hate to sound too harsh, Peter, but that was...
So bring it on. Hype, expectation, emotion. The game yet to kick off. The excitement already palpable. Expectations and decibels both rising fast here. Things are heating up and we'll be getting underway very soon. So we're up and running.
In a system like this, Peter, the winger-fullback combinations can be absolutely crucial.
Yeah, and no doubt you could expand on that for us, Jim.
Well, there's just so many potential options and movements. Overlapping, underlapping, wingers vacating spaces to be occupied by fullbacks, coming inside, creating overloads down the middle on either flank. You get those right, and this can be a very effective system.
A tried and tested formula.
And believe it or not, Peter, we even did that back in my day. Haaland really was well marshalled there because he was denied the opportunity to turn.
He's had a fair tumble under that challenge. And the counter is on. Del Piero looking to receive it in space. Takes the shot! Oh, nice. Just not quite.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he tried one of his specials.
And it's gone back to the keeper. And he's managed to get rid. And here's Del Piero. Oh, nice touch. Alonso. So we're still where we started right now. Xavi Alonso. Great pressure, plenty of it. While for anyone whose allegiances lie with the red half of Manchester, this man for so long was an unsung hero. One of the most decorated defenders in the English top flight. He is Mikhail Silvestre.
His game was all about versatility and durability, Peter. An astute defender in the middle, a fine ball carrier with a good engine, went out wide.
Yeah, and you can expand. Guti! Gorgeous from Guti! About as smooth as it gets! The movement so precise, the finish sumptuous.
Well, it's an example of counter-attacking at its finest. Real cut and thrust.
So the first moment of real significance.
Yeah, but I think they all know too well that things are far from done here. And while there's never a good time to be caught out, you definitely don't want it to be now.
Rijkaard did well to emerge with the ball. That's a contest to keep an eye on. Well, the runner's been sold a little bit short there.
Well, I think the opposition saw that pass coming a mile off, and it wasn't the best decision.
Oh, that was vital. Guti. And here's Del Piero. Shot, surely! And collective relief etched on the faces of the defenders. And we have our very first corner. Impressive jump! Oh, it's fallen loose again! And that's a good finish. They have come roaring back!
Well, it looks like we have ourselves a real game here now, Peter. They've been rewarded for their courage, for their attitude, for their application, and now they'll want another.
Some heroic goalkeeping, but even that couldn't save them this time.
Well, you might think I'm being a bit harsh, Peter, but I just can't help the feeling that the keeper should have done a better job. Full stop.
It's starting to look very interesting, this.
Well, this is to be expected, Peter. When you've got two strong teams of fairly equal standing, the outcome should all come down to finishing.
Nedved. And this is Del Piero. No, it's come to nothing. He's gone for goal! And for the first half, that is that. Nothing to separate the two teams at half-time. They've both given it a really good go, and they head into the break all square. How do you look back on the first 45 minutes?
Well, both sides would have expected a closely fought match, and that's pretty much what we've got so far. The early exchanges, I think, in this second half will be worth keeping an eye on to see if any adjustments have been made to change things.
Well, it's been intriguing stuff so far, and it's 1-1 at the break. Both teams hoping for a pick-me-up in the second half. So straight into the second half. Chance for a shot! Nedved plays the game a step ahead of almost anyone. That's a lovely, neat pass.
Munich really look like a team that's set up to absorb pressure. They don't mind being on the back foot.
But with something up their sleeve.
Yeah, they clearly feel they can hit hard on the counter-attack thanks to their pacey options.
Xavi Alonso looking for options for... And the shot! Same again, same outcome.
Munich really have stepped it up now. They could have been a bit more greedy and forced the issue.
Guti with the short one. And now a sudden chance to counter. Now it's Raul. Not the most accurate pass. Silvestre. I think that's offside. Yes, it is.
Well, Peter, just see here how a lot of the attacking players aren't dropping back anymore.
And that means just one thing, I suppose.
Yeah, they just simply want to engage the counter-attack.
Now that's well seen too. Kukcu is the distributor-in-chief, always looking for movers. Raul knocks it into space. Raul is sporting a guilty look after that.
His teammates are really annoyed with that, you know, and they have every right to be.
Rijkaard. Mateus, passing nice and neat. Passes short and sharp.
Well, there's no doubt that they want to win this, Peter. They'll have to maintain the energy and dynamism until the very end.
Bale! Oh, good finish. They've done it! It was coming! They have their reward! And that is a goal worthy of universal appreciation. Even the opposing fans have to recognise the quality there.
Oh, it was a real beauty, Peter, and while many might have just lashed out at it, he took his time and he put it where very few can.
So we have movement on both benches. So we have a breakthrough. Now how will things develop from here?
Listen, when it comes to goals, Peter, in this team, he's always the #1 contender, and he's done it again.
Mateus, and it's Cruyff. And Cruyff! And that could have brought them level.
Yeah, you always felt that they were going to up the tempo after going behind. It's not like they have any other option now.
Lovely pass, but can he get there?
Well, that was well positioned and well pinched. They can't hurt with their backs to goal.
Quality ball.
I thought it was going to happen then. How many more chances can they realistically expect now?
Can he get on the end of this? Thuram gets it away. And here's Cruyff. Referee looks at his watch and blows his whistle. So the winner's bullish and belligerent after a remarkable collection. The noise is just about reaching a crescendo here as these two sides get ready to lock horns. This is football at its finest. Well, the pre-match build-up has been fantastic. Now, the game itself. So we're up and running.
Well, Xabi Alonso is the standout. He'll be looking to set the tempo and dictate the play here, Peter.
He is so integral to this team. Mohamed Salah! And it's cut back out to him. And he's done it!
Listen, the big names earn their reputations for precisely the reason we've just seen. They have a habit of making their presence felt, and here we are, early stages. He struck one, and he looks hungry for more.
And he's only too grateful to capitalise on the keeper's misfortune.
Oh, he was definitely fully focused on that, Peter. His reaction and anticipation got him there when everyone else was spectating.
So the game's first significant moment, and it's come earlier than perhaps we anticipated. No, he's not getting past him there. Plays a sharp little ball here. Del Piero is offering some sort of an apology there.
Encouraged the pass with an intelligent run, but the pass just lacked pace.
Oh, good read.
That was well played, well stopped.
Lam. Some intricate passing, looking to progress the ball. Quarter of an hour played. And here's Del Piero. Well seen, saw that coming.
That's great positioning, so good from him. What an absolute shame. The composure and imagination to set himself free. He should be locked up after that.
A mixture of good defending and indecisive passing. No progress. And that interception was most necessary.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Now it's Mbappe. Now it's Eto'o. Xabi Alonso. This is a promising build-up. Just eases him off the ball. That has ended up in no man's land. Oh, good-looking ball. Nedved tries to pass it through. It's Alonso! Glorious! About as smooth as it gets. They have hauled themselves right back into it.
Well, it looks like we have ourselves a real game here now, Peter. They've been rewarded for their courage, for their attitude, for their application, and now they'll want another.
And a trademark move ends with the inevitable classy finish.
Look, if you want to be effective on the break, then the key element is always pace. That's what really rips defences apart, and it's difficult to find an answer.
Chance!
He has saved the goalkeeper's blushes there. What great defending.
Played into space. Well, it is clear to see that he is not at all happy with that.
Yeah, he just didn't seem to get enough on the pass, Peter, did he?
Pirlo. That has been cut short. And here's Suarez. Now it's Del Piero. Del Piero! And that's what you call inspired goalkeeping.
I think he's done great there, both reading it and dealing with it.
And we have our very first corner. Roberto Carlos gets it away. And this could be the final action of the first half. Impressive jump off the bar. Makalele getting this one clear. Now it's Mohamed Salah. He has found the way through. Salah. And the whistle goes for half-time. Well, the glass is either half full or half empty. Neither side yet truly to impose themselves, and it's level pegging at half-time. How's the first half compared with your expectation?
Well, I think the manager should be pretty happy that his side managed to come in on level terms. Things seem to be going a little against them, but they stemmed the tide, got their equaliser, and I think we're in for an exciting second half now.
Well, it's been intriguing stuff so far, and it's 1-1 at the break. Both teams hoping for a pick-me-up in the second half. And we are back underway. Corner number 3 coming up. Getting up there! And it's a goal!
Oh, he's quite the pro. The speed and sharpness in his game gives him an advantageous edge, and he applies it with lethal effect. He's class. Real class.
Great corner, and he did the rest.
So well played, Peter. Did a great job.
And a chance! Goal! And once more, we are all square. You score, we score.
Yeah, since going a goal down, they've dug in to produce a really fine spell, which for me deserved that equaliser.
And he stuck it away as if laser guided.
Well, Peter, I think the keeper knew straight away he was never going to get to it.
Milan dragged themselves back again.
Well, there's resilience for you, Peter. As a side, they never lost focus despite the setback. And this is...
And the shot! And he couldn't finish.
Well, it goes to show you there's a lot you can do if you have willing runners like that. You'll always get that chance. And it's quite direct from them. It's actually quite long from back to front.
And it's Hullet. Oh, this is a great position. There's the shot! It's Alonso! That was superb goalkeeping.
That's very, very good. You can't ask for much more than that.
So will they make it count again? That's a decent clearance. Milan are looking to go forward now. Well read, nice interception. Maldini. Ribery. Bale. Bale will not want to lose out here, not against this opponent. Now it's Mohamed Salah. Looking to pass their way up the pitch. Vieira. They've won a corner. And it's been taken short. And that was nowhere near his best. And it's Yaya Toure. And now a sudden chance to counter. Now it's Del Piero. Lam is someone so often referred to as the defender's defender. The ball is bounced. Applies the finish!
Well, there's no doubt that they want to win this, Peter. They'll have to maintain the energy and dynamism until the very end, though.
Schmeichel breathes a sigh of relief as he gets his hands on the ball. Rummenigge. Just no time to dwell on the ball there.
Yeah, they were looking for a counter-attack.
That's a sharp pass. Still anyone's game this. One moment can decide it.
Listen, the fans haven't given up on this by any means. They still believe it can be won. I think we might be done here, Peter. I don't see there being enough time for them to try again.
Now that's well seen too. Ribery. Now that looks a decent ball. Oh, perfectly measured that. Pedri. Searching pass he's played. He's having a shot! Oh, that looked awkward, but he had a good crack at it.
Well, he's never the sort to doubt.
That's it. There will be time for no more. So it's ended all square, both sides showing battling qualities and neither willing to give in. Vieira picking up the Man of the Match award and... The noise is just about reaching a crescendo here as these two sides get ready to lock horns. This is football at its finest. There's nothing quite like match day, especially here. This crowd doesn't do ordinary. And we should be in for something very special. So we're very much on the way now. Al Hussein have gone with what looks like an orthodox 4-4-2, Jim.
Well, what I like...
He's had a shot! It's in!
Listen, the big names earn their reputations for precisely the reason we've just seen. They have a habit of making their presence felt, and here we are, early stages. He struck one, and he looks hungry for more.
There was no getting to that, no getting to it at all. Expertly done.
Just way, way too good, Peter. The keeper was never going to stop it.
So the game's first significant moment, and it's come earlier than perhaps we anticipated.
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
Messi. Oh, well played. That has snuffed out the danger. Lovely pass, but can he get there? He has a look. Great chance! That's an imaginative pass. Oh, well played, well sorted out. And it's Messi. Played back.
Well, I wouldn't quite advise they should resort to risk-taking at this stage. There's plenty of time left yet.
Oh, he's seen that early. Used a certain sixth sense. Now it's Del Piero.
That's positional gold, the utilisation of space.
Well, he was clearly disappointed with that pass.
They should have done a lot better there. The final ball was very poor.
Might be danger here. And he's made sure that's not getting through. Nedved. Messi. He's shifted a chance! And he looked every bit the assured keeper there.
Messi is offering a wry smile there.
Juve. Messi. Now, can they get him away? Cute ball now, how can he reach it? Nedved plays the game a step ahead of almost anyone. Adriano. Xabi Alonso. And he's Alonso! A potential goal of the season contender, if only.
Xabi Alonso certainly looked hungry and exciting on the ball. Confidence is at play here.
Raul, forever the opportunist. A sniff, that's all he needs. They get a throw in.
Okay, being behind at the break isn't ideal, but there's plenty of time to reply.
Great ball, and he's... And Del Piero! It's a carbon copy of the previous miss.
Well, the breakthrough hasn't come yet, Peter, but you do feel they're upping the ante here. They'll get their reward if they can stick at this.
Al Hussein choosing to make the first change. He got amongst the goals here, and now he takes his leave.
He's sharing a smile or two as he's leaving the pitch, Peter. I think his contribution is widely appreciated.
Now he's got space here. Lam cuts it out. Vieira. Xavi Alonso. Now it's Batistuta. Messi, quality ball. Could move up a gear here. Now it's Del Piero. That's it, 45 minutes up. Well, it's certainly simmered along nicely so far. Just the one goal in it, and it's all still very much up for grabs.
Yeah, you don't get any points for stating the obvious, Peter, but thankfully this is still very savable. Keep things simple, keep the intensity high, and hope for an early goal. If that happens, it's a game changer.
Well, that is the first half done, and we are ready for what follows in the second. second period is underway.
Well, I think in these circumstances, it's all about how to adjust the balance of your team. I mean, you want to get back in it as soon as possible, but without leaving yourself too open.
Cannavaro. Raul. Well, they've got it back in a hurry. And it's Cannavaro. Rijkaard is always scanning the pitch for targets. And it's Hullet. That's really well cleared. So, Jim, what are you thinking?
Look, they may be one down, but they're not shying away. Time is on their side, and they're set on using it.
Hullet is sporting a guilty look after that.
His teammates are really annoyed with that, you know, and they have every right to be.
Lahm delivers. Has a look and plays it forward. Raul, Batistuta, and Mateus. Oh, that's well spotted. Xavi Alonso. Nedved.
Well, Peter, just see here how a lot of the attacking players aren't dropping back anymore.
Luis Suarez!
What an absolute shame. The composure and imagination to set himself free. He should be locked up after that.
Well, the two coaches are signalling changes here, both at the same time. No way through. Massaro knocks it into space. Chance! He's got a goal! A two-goal lead, and they're firmly in control. So smooth. A signature finish.
Well, it always comes down to the telling final pass, and that was a beauty.
Al Hussein have opted to make another change here.
Yeah, they're looking for some imagination, and his job's going to be to add that element of craft and guile, the man pulling the strings.
Al Hussein are doing very nicely, thank you.
You can really sense how important this goal was for them. They needed it, now they have it.
Oh, they could be caught out here. Nicely aimed pass. And it's Griezmann. Griezmann gets on his bike and on the move. It's Griezmann! And that's a real chance missed.
Well, I think it's great. He's showing plenty of fight here. You want that to spread throughout the team now.
Griezmann. Oh, this looks sharp. Just 5 minutes remaining now. Cafu is there to clear. Nedved. And he thumps it clear. Board shows there will be 3 extra minutes. And here's Hullet. And they're quick to get it back. And that's that. In the end then, no joy. Not for the want of trying, not for the want of running. Well, what a scene we have here. There's a real expectant buzz in the stadium, and the players on the pitch are raring to go any minute now. Well, the pre-match build-up has been fantastic. Now, the game itself. So that's got things underway. Who do you think this turns on, Jim?
Well, Peter, it would have to be the highly rated Dean Howson. The perfect blend of total football and tiki-taka. I like the front-footed approach he takes to defending. He's very effective, pushing people back by almost joining in and central.
Decent chance! He is world-class! Pippo Inzaghi!
Well, this is already looking rather ominous for the opposition. When a player of his calibre can open up the scoring with a brilliantly classy finish, it could be a very long match for that defence to prevent it happening again.
Oh, one moment you're in possession, the next you're picking the ball out of your own net. That one will sting.
Well, let that be a lesson to them, Peter. They have to stay focused at all times. Any lapse in concentration, voila.
So, a breakthrough already. Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. And here's Cruyff.
Well, I wouldn't quite advise they should resort to risk-taking at this stage. There's plenty of time left yet.
He is through here. Oh, he's enjoyed that. He evidently loves the contest.
I'm not sure the shot was ever on there, really. There were just too many bodies in the way, Peter.
Nice interception, well timed. Well, that is not the best ball, and he offers an apologetic look.
His teammates are really annoyed with that, you know, and they have every right to be.
Threads one in. Pepe makes the interception. Azar is offering some sort of an apology there.
Clearly is miffed, having made the run and not get picked out.
Short changes him with that pass. Cruyff, big chance!
I think that's great defending. He just made sure he was in the right place to block it, and I bet you the keeper's very relieved.
Passing is crisp and sharp. Another pass just keeps it ticking over. And this is Nedved. Oh, shooting chance! And that was very necessary. Shin to shin, bicep to bicep, and he wins out. Pass is just off target. Well, he was clearly disappointed with that pass.
They should have done a lot better there. The final ball was very poor.
Nedved. And this is shapes to shoot! Nedved! A diamond of a goal! That is a gem! An absolute gem! They have done it! They have their equaliser!
Well, you have to credit the desire there. These boys knew they were in a battle, and they did exactly what was needed to get back into it. That's going to make the boss just a little happy now.
One sweeping move, executed with deadly efficiency.
Well, it's an example of counter-attacking at its finest.
And the referee has blown for half-time. Nothing to separate the two teams at half-time. They've both given it a really good go, and they head into the break all square. How's the first half compared with your expectation?
Well, I think the manager should be pretty happy that his side managed to come in on level terms. Things seem to be going a little against them, but they stemmed the tide, got their equaliser, and I think we're in for an exciting second half now.
Well, it's been intriguing stuff so far, and it's 1-1 at the break. Both teams hoping for a pick-me-up in the second half. And we are back on the way. Well, the ball just didn't work out for the run that he made.
Well, everything up to the final pass looked decent. They just couldn't pick out that killer ball.
Forlan was alert to the possibilities, but in the end it's fruitless. And the pass is intercepted. Isco. Well read, nice interception. Xavi Alonso. Oh, that's a key interception. Kukchu.
India really do like to play with a distinctive style, one that's pacey and expansive.
And they have the players, those players that love a gallop or two out wide.
Yeah, they're the key supply routes, Peter, carrying the ball and then delivering it across that box.
Now, can they get him away? And he's lost his man here. And he shoots! And a terrific save from the keeper.
I think he's done great there, both reading it and dealing with it.
And we have our very first corner. And now they can spring out of defence. He won't be happy with that one. And it's Cruyff. Oh, now he can run. Cruyff! Cruyff! That is beyond words! About as smooth as it gets. And the comeback is complete. Well, how's that for a class finish?
Well, that's great disguise he got on that finish too. Just toying with the defence, making them guess the wrong thing to do. Made him look a bit silly, Peter.
So we have a breakthrough. Now how will things develop from here?
Well, they've done the hard part now, Peter. Can they cling on? Or even better, can they get another?
Now it's Cruyff. And Cruyff! Oh, terrific save from the keeper.
That's very, very good. You can't ask for much more than that.
It's their second corner of the game.
I think the message here is quite clear, Peter. They want another one and will seemingly keep going until they get it.
Aubameyang! And that's a sharp finish. They've done it again. It is incredible.
Yeah, and it's very much deserved in the circumstances. In these games, it's so tempting to maybe get a little sorry for yourselves, but there's none of that.
Oh, delicious. Such devilish curl.
Well, it's one of those, Peter, when you've got to take your hat off and just say, too good.
And in a trice, the substitute has scored already.
I think the manager's claiming an assist here.
It is compelling, this. Utterly compelling.
Well, at this stage, Peter, it's going to come down to how badly they want to win this.
Whistle's gone. That's a foul. And here's Hullet. And Hullet! Again, a brilliant save.
Well, they've got to get everyone forward, and maybe even the keeper.
And that has sent him sprawling. Now, who's going to be first to this? Tries to pass it through. Isco. Neatly clipped into space. Fallen! What a save from Peter Schmeichel! Added time is up, and there goes the whistle. Decent game of football, that. Intense, intriguing. Well, football is, of course, ultimately just a game, but for the next 2 hours, it might not feel like that. The stadium is full of noise and energy. This certainly matters. Expectations and decibels both rising fast here. Things are heating up, and we'll be getting underway very soon. We're up and running then. Jim, who do you pick out as the telling individual today?
Well, a lot has been said, Peter, about this guy, Julian Alvarez. I remember him from his breakout performance back in 2020 in the group stages of Latin America's greatest club competition, where I'm pretty sure I remember...
And the shot!
Well, he got rid because he was under pressure.
Thuram. And the counter is on. And it's Xavi Alonso. And here's Hullet. Hullet! And the keeper has reacted superbly there.
Hullet is offering a wry smile there.
Colorado Springs with their first corner. The first in the game for either side, actually. He leaps for it. Oh, that wasn't the worst effort in the world.
Well, he looks a little annoyed with himself, Peter, but he hit it well enough. Better look next time, maybe.
Rijkaard. Now it's Batistuta. Batistuta was alert to the possibilities, but in the end it's fruitless. Vieira. Still goalless.
Well, it's a move of great promise, but will it really prove productive?
And the shot! It's off target and by quite a way.
Colorado Springs certainly looks sharp there. They're very well drilled in this art of counter-attacking.
Well, that has not gone well. Hullet. And this is Adriano.
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
And he's there to retrieve it. Messi, a player so deservedly decorated with praise and glory. He might be in here! Chance for a shot! Goal! Barcelona! And a trademark move ends with the inevitable classy finish.
Barcelona are such an adept counter-attacking team. They produced something out of nothing there. A few seconds was all it took for them to convert a defensive situation into a goal, and it's very impressive.
The first breakthrough.
Well, this should allow them to be a bit more expansive, although they'll be wise to be cautious for now.
Oh, now here's an interesting matchup. Adriano. And that is a little undercooked. And this is... Can he finish? Oh, that looked awkward, but he had a good crack at it.
You can never be too safe with someone like him around. They got away with that.
And it's Del Piero. Oh, good read.
He read that really well and stopped it. Colorado Springs truly have no need to panic. They can reassess at half-time.
Now it's Del Piero. And this is Nedved. And that has been cleared. Maldini spots it and intercepts. Gattuso is someone so often referred to as the defender's defender. That is ended up in no man's land. And the referee has signalled for half-time. So a steady, solid and more than satisfactory first half. They've got the lead and that gives them something to build on after the break. Colorado Springs come in at half-time on the wrong end of a 1-0 scoreline.
It's been a pretty tepid display. They'll want to use this break wisely to regroup and come out with some fresh initiatives. This is all still very salvageable, maybe even winnable.
Well, that is the first half done, and we are... Goes for a shot! Messi! Oh, that is beautiful! Sumptuous finish, an absolute joy! 2 up and in charge, and things are looking pretty good for them now. Beautiful, just beautiful. The joy of the moment.
That was magnificent. The way he caught it so perfectly. I think he's even managed to surprise himself, Peter.
Things starting to look very comfortable.
Well, it's a great time for them to keep the momentum going. I don't see any need to change the approach. Keep at it with the same intensity, and soon enough, they'll get another break.
Bergomi wins the duel this time, and he cuts out the supply. Messi. Oh, facing up to his adversary, this is a formidable matchup. Corner. Colorado Springs can now introduce the first of their substitutes. A header! Oh, it's hit the post! Oh, he's given that plenty, but no.
Well, he's missed a very good chance there. He might have got a little too much on that.
And reclaimed it in a trice. Now it's Mbappe. Now, can they get him away? Decent chance! Yes! With fun and fury, they continue to do their thing.
Oh, he did so well to hold his run and stay on side, Peter. That was really clever.
Well, football is, of course, ultimately just a game, but for the next 2 hours, it might not feel like that. The stadium is full of noise and energy. This certainly matters. Just listen to that noise. This place is definitely up for it. Let's hope we get a contest worthy of the setting. So it's away we go then. Who do you think this turns on, Jim?
Well, Peter, it would have to be the highly rated Dean Howson. The perfect blend of total football and tiki-taka. I like the front-footed approach he takes to defending. He's very effective, pushing people back by almost joining in central midfield himself. And, you know, he has a real air of authority about him now as he matures through the game.
Yeah, he'll certainly be leaving his mark on this. He's had a shot!
What a cracking save from the keeper. That may turn out to be a pivotal moment.
Tries to pass it through. Pull it. And the counter is on. Rijkaard spots it and intercepts. And now the breakaway. Howson cuts out the pass. And here's Ibrahimovic. Colorado Springs yet to have an attempt on goal. Neither of these two want to come off second best. Well timed, excellent interception. Mateus. Van Bouten kept his eye on it, and he's there. Oh, there's a probing ball.
Colorado Springs are clearly playing a patient game here, looking to pick out those runners.
Yeah, that's a lot of the forwards, this style, doesn't it? You need them to be very sharp, chasing non-stop, running after lost causes.
Yeah, and you need a lot of movement up front if you're going to make it work.
Best, a player who needs no introduction.
That was lovely, that.
Best, going face-to-face with his great rival. And it's Lam. And this is Ibrahimovic. Well, now it's a race for Stojkovic! Wide, but only just.
Oh, he just got it ever so slightly wrong, Peter. There wasn't much in that at all.
Oh, he's managed to get himself offside. Rijkaard. Stojkovic. Best can see things others simply cannot. Decent chance! And that's what you call inspired goalkeeping.
Best clearly thought he had the beating of the keeper. They've got a healthy number of very tall targets to pick out from this corner.
Shot could be on. Colorado Springs have the chance to go the other way. He's got away. Well, he's not happy with that challenge, but the referee has let it go. Now it's Messi. Pull it. And he shoots! Robson. Oh, he certainly caught him there. It's a free kick. And the referee has shown him a yellow card. And we've reached half-time. So neither team were able to take the lead, but it certainly hasn't been for the lack of trying. So neither side has found a way through yet.
It's not a bad game by any means, Peter, but it definitely needs an injection of some invention, creativity. There's so much you can do with all that industry by just adding a little bit of skill.
So both teams still stuck on the starting blocks here, 0-0 at the break. So we're straight back at it at the start of the second half. 0-0, and we're at the halfway point. takes a shot! Mbappe! Oh, how good is that? Sumptuous finish, an absolute joy! How they've waited! Now they have it! Well, it would have been harder to miss.
Yeah, it's mystifying that a player of his talent wasn't picked up sooner, and he picked them off instead.
So the first moment of real significance.
Listen, when it comes to goals, Peter, in this team, he's always the #1 contender, and he's done it again. Well, Peter, just see here how a lot of the attacking players aren't dropping back anymore.
And that means just one thing, I suppose.
Yeah, they just simply want to engage the counter-attack.
That's a smashing touch to get him away. Rijkaard did well to emerge with the ball. That's a contest to keep an eye on. Looking to play him in.
That's exactly what they need to keep doing. Carry on plugging away, and eventually you might just get that little break.
This is a really front-footed approach.
They just need to sort out their end product, and quickly.
It's all a little bit desperate, but it's got the job done.
Well, I thought they got off lightly there. The odds were stacked against them.
Lahm delivers. And that has been knocked clear. And here's Nedved, delivered in. And it's safely in the keeper's hands. Hernes is someone with real dynamite in his boots. Ah, he's given it away. Oh, he's burst through. Xavi Alonso. And that interception was most necessary.
That's great positioning. So good from him.
Now it's Owen.
Goa clearly have been instructed to kill this off. Offence is the best form of defence.
That's a shade optimistic. Colorado Springs could be just about done here.
Well, I suppose they need something to break their way, Peter. Anything at this late stage. This usually is the time teams go into conservation.
And Batistuta! Oh, the keeper's done ever so well.
Batistuta actually didn't do an awful lot wrong, to be honest.
Gerrard. 2 minutes to be added on.
It was indecision all round. They have to do a bit better than that.
And we're done. So in the end, one goal did it. An exciting encounter where both sides produced a... Well, what a sight this is. The colour, the choreography, the camaraderie. The fans have pulled out all the stops to make this a monumental occasion. Well, the stage is set for a stirring showdown here. The supporters in great voice, and there's a real sense of anticipation in the air. Game on. If you have just joined, you have just missed the kickoff. They appear to be shaping up in a 4-4-2 formation.
Well, what I like about this system, Peter, is the way in which both...
Goes for a shot! And he was there to get a vital touch.
Gerrard clearly thought he had the beating of the keeper.
Well, plenty has been said and written about Steven Gerrard's many talents, but if you had to pick out one strength in particular, Jim, what would that be?
His never-say-die leadership, something that's shone through in so many crucial moments.
And it's about more than just the critical goals he's scored down the years.
It's about having the strength to keep going no matter what, and the ability to inspire your teammates to do the same.
And here's Gerrard. Nice interception, well timed. Fermin going face-to-face with his great rival. Now there's a fine ball. Vieira. Xavi Alonso. Now it's Cruyff. And it's Messi. And it's Vieira. Neither side yet able to force a breakthrough here.
It's the sort of situation that they'll want to capitalise on now.
Over to the right flank. That's a good foray he's making. Well, the movement is slick, the speed is slippery. The defence, though, able to hold on this time. And the pass is intercepted. Now it's Cruyff. Looking to play him in. An uncompromising challenge. Messi. Passing is crisp and sharp. Now it's Cruyff. Cruyff will not want to lose out. And he shoots!
Well, that's good defending. He squeezed the play and he gave him no chance to get on the turn.
Gerrard. Gerrard cuts a frustrated figure right now. He just cannot get away.
They're just trying to negate...
Can he finish? They've scored!
Yeah, and he did well not to stray offside there as well, Peter. He just seemed to instinctively know when the ball was going to be delivered, and he got it right.
So the first goal of the game.
Well, I think the next 5 to 10 minutes will call for real focus as the opposition will inevitably react.
Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. And it's Gerrard. He's in a great... Shoots! He's got a goal! And once more, we are all square. You score, we score.
Well, that's so refreshing. They went a goal down, and you never would have guessed it. Their reaction has been emphatic.
One sweeping move, executed with deadly efficiency.
Just when they thought they may be in at one end, they end up...
It's Pato! Vieira. It's a... Oh, he's been caught on it, and the shot! He's delivered all right! Lacking for neither time nor space, it could scarcely have been more straightforward.
Way too good, Peter. Too quick, too smart for that defence, who were made to look a little lost, in all honesty.
Well, this is what we've been waiting for. And that's gone all the way through to the keeper. Vieira. And it's half-time. Well, the scoreline at half-time, a fair reflection of things overall, you'd have to say that. There was certainly no lack of effort or endeavour in the first half. And neither side holding back here. It has been quite a half, this.
Well, it's a lead that's by no means convincing. The manager can't go too easy on his players here. I think they need to re-establish that focus and try to lift the...
Shot a goal! And that is wildly off target.
I can't quite believe he's missed that, Peter.
Silvestre is looking to influence the game from out wide. And here's Alvarez. Fermin! Oh, split-second reaction.
Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that.
And we have our very first corner. He's rising! Oh, he's hit the bar! Great chance! And he couldn't quite find the target.
Well, at least his thinking was very good, Peter. Probably thought he hit the target, judging by his reaction.
Plays a sharp little ball here. Cruyff. Some good work on the right flank here. He's picked his way through. Ball comes in. Marquinhos attempts a clearance. He'll try from distance! And kept out by the most elastic of saves.
I think he's done great there, both reading it and dealing with it. Well, Peter, just see here how a lot of the attacking players aren't dropping back anymore.
And that means just one thing, I suppose.
Yeah, they just simply want to engage the counter-attack.
Dani Olmo. Now it's Cruyff. He won't be happy with that one. Now it's Messi. Looking for options for movement. Rijkaard is the team's great visionary. Xavi Alonso. Passes coming off in quick succession here. This looks promising. He's onside. Big chance! And a neat finish. Again, we are level. What a contest!
Well, this is just incredible. I mean, who would have seen this? Neither manager, I think. It's all happening.
Another moment of magic. A real wow moment.
Yeah, he gets top marks for that finish. I honestly thought his odds weren't that good.
It is compelling, this. Utterly compelling. Good chance here! And for sure, that was not one of his best.
Well, it didn't quite come off this time, Peter, but that's a warning to the opposition. This team know how to counter, and they'll be looking to do it every chance they get.
So changes afoot here, and from both sides. And it's McAllister. Well seen, saw that coming.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Now, can they get him away? Thinks about the shot, crosses it in, tries the shot! And there's a goal! And the game is well and truly turned on its head. Oh, one moment you're in possession, the next you're picking the ball out of your own net. That one will sting.
Oh, that was beautifully done. They were ready to pounce, and they were clinical when the opportunity presented itself.
And it didn't take him long. Just sitting on the bench and waiting moments ago, already he has scored.
I think the manager's claiming an assist here.
So we have a breakthrough. Now how will things develop? Oh, what has happened here? Pepe.
I thought it was going to happen then. How many more chances can they realistically expect now?
McAllister. Olise. Oh, that's fabulous. And that is as much time as there will be. Well, what a game. Unpredictable to the very end, momentum shifting. So bring it on. Hype, expectation, emotion. The game yet to kick off. The excitement already palpable. Expectations and decibels both rising fast here. Things are heating up and we'll be getting underway very soon. If you have just joined, you have just missed the kickoff. Jim, who do you reckon is pivotal?
One of the game's best ever, Cristiano Ronaldo. He brings a power to whatever he does, and his unquenchable thirst for goals is always an enjoyable sideshow. It's very rare he fails to leave his mark.
Yeah, hard to see past him. He'll be looking to put on a show, I'm certain of that. Well, that defending is unapologetically persistent. It's almost personal. And Hullet! Rude Hullet! Beyond special! What a player!
As openings go, this is up there. Another magnificent finish from Mr. Magnificent. This could be good, very good.
He has given that the lot. Bang!
Yeah, you just don't save those, Peter. Too much power on, and the manager's absolutely loving this.
So, a breakthrough already. And here's Del Piero. Nedved finding himself in space. Messi. He'll try for distance! Oh, that's fabulous! Oh, it really is a finish of the highest order. They are purring, truly purring. What a delicious goal, stroked in like a maestro.
That was magnificent, the way he caught it so perfectly.
Bullet! And for a moment, time stood still.
He's a lucky boy there. You lose the ball like that, and usually you're going to get punished.
Pinches it off him. And it's Hullet. Tries to pass it through. Messi running with the ball. That's good play. Bergomi did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party overly willing to compromise. Now there's a fine ball. There's a beautiful simplicity about this contest. Winning running on one side, dogged defence on the other. Well, it is clear to see that he is not at all happy with that.
Yeah, he just didn't seem to get enough on the pass, Peter, did he?
Oh, he's enjoyed that. He evidently loves the contest. Now it's Hullet. Ronaldinho, looking for options for movement. That's a shade optimistic. Maldini. Del Piero. Nedved can see things others simply cannot. Half-time coming up, and little doubt as to which of the two sides is the happier. It's a really well-measured ball. Messi makes a dash for it, and a chance! Great strike, but the keeper's equal to it. Oh, that was a brilliant save.
Messi is offering a right smile there.
And we have our very first corner. Towering header! Oh, he's given that plenty, but no.
Vieira certainly knows that he's missed a real chance there, but he can't dwell on that. He needs to pick himself up and move on.
Oh, super ball! Chance, surely! Oh, he's been caught napping! Xavi Alonso. The whistle's gone, and that's it for the first half. Reflections on the first half?
Well, Peter, at 2-0, you're faced with the choice of just trying to see the match out or forcing the issue even further. I'd always be inclined to go for the latter, go for a third, especially with a full half of football still to play.
Well, who could have predicted a scoreline like this after just 45 minutes? The sides separated by 2. Down to business again. Oh, he's going to be disappointed with that. Nedved. Bergomi is one of those players who's known for reading the game better than anyone. Plays a sharp little ball here. Messi. He won't be happy with that one. Now it's Neymar. Goes for the shot! A collective sigh of relief from the defence.
Well, talking about creating a problem for yourself, okay, credit to good pressing, but that was entirely avoidable.
Has a look and plays it forward. And it's Del Piero. And he's been shifted off it. Messi. So 2-0 the scoreline early after half-time. Oh, well played. That has snuffed out the danger. Edmilson. So we've reached the hour mark. Now it's Hullet. De Bruyne. Davis. Picked out brilliantly. Well, momentarily the situation was perilous, but his alertness has saved the day.
Some inspired work that. It's good that someone knew exactly what they were doing.
Engages and forces him off the ball. Played back. Takes a shot! That was superb goalkeeping.
Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that.
It's their second corner of the game. And now they can spring out of defence. Pull it. And he's picked it up out wide. That has ended up in no man's land. De Bruyne. Now he's got space here. And he cuts out the supply. Well, the ball just didn't work out for the run that he made.
They should have done a lot better there. The final ball was very poor.
Now it's Hullet. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him. Can he get it through? Expertly cut out, really nicely done. Oh, easy pickings there. Now that looks a decent ball. And he's taking no chances there. And he's well positioned here. Messi.
Well, that's good defending. He squeezed the play and he gave him no chance to get on the turn.
And it's Hullet. That is good alertness. And that will be the final act. So smiles all round as they shamelessly indulge in the post-whistle euphoria. So bring it on. Height, expectation, emotion. The game yet to kick off. The excitement already palpable. Well, colour and passion just oozing from the stands here. These fans love their football, and we're about to be dished up a feast of it. And that gets things running.
For me, Peter, Albert Ferrer was one of the very best defenders of the 1990s.
And of course, he played in that most famous of all Catalan dream teams.
Yeah, not one of its most glamorous members, maybe, but definitely one of the most important.
Pass somewhat off target. Bellingham. Batistuta bumps him off it and wins back the ball. Bergomi. Neither of these takes a shot. And it's Nedved. Rijkaard. And he cuts out the supply. Mbappe. And no, that was never going to make it. Vieira. Still goalless at the moment. Now it's Batistuta. Vieira kept aware, and it is reclaimed easily. And here's Mbappe.
Well, that's good defending. He squeezed the play and he gave him no chance to get on the turn.
Xavi Alonso. Tries from distance. Mbappe absolutely focused then on the defensive side of his game.
Well, it's not a surprise to see that these days, all part of a forward's duties.
He's beaten the last man. Batistuta had a really good go at breaking through, but ultimately he was just about kept out.
Well, I appreciate the fact he's trying to make a difference, and if he carries on like that, he may well do.
shot! It's in! One sweeping move, executed with deadly efficiency.
Look, if you want to be effective on the break, then the key element is always pace. That's what really rips defences apart, and it's difficult to find an answer to it when it's applied like that.
So the first goal of the game.
Look, he's the one everyone expects to put the ball in the net. That's what he's paid to do.
Alonso! A potential goal of the season contender, if only.
Well, that was certainly impressive, Peter. Great run, just a shame the finish let him down.
Albert Ferrer cuts out the pass. Defending was strong and firm. Knocks it into space. Thuram spots it and intercepts. Maldini. And the referee has blown for half-time. A very combative, competitive half with just the one decisive moment. It's been compelling stuff. So your views on the first half?
Well, I think it's a case of so far, so good. The boss has clearly done his homework, and I don't think he needs to change much during the break. Now they've got the lead, they can expect more of the same in the second half.
So it has been pretty frantic here. Everybody eagerly awaiting the start of the second half. And hostilities have resumed at the start of the second half.
Well, if you're ahead, it's a good time to start moving the ball quicker, Peter. Entice your opponents out. See if you can open them up a bit more.
Tries to play it through. And the finish! It's a goal! Botafogo back on level terms. He does it all with an air of efficiency and simplicity.
Not even a hint of hesitation. That is such a cool finish.
Botafogo restore parity.
Well, this is to be expected, Peter. When you've got two strong teams of fairly equal standing, the outcome should all come down to finishing.
Botafogo are looking to play on the counter here, aren't they?
Well, I think it's pretty clear they've changed their shape, certainly when defending at least, because they've got to be ready to hit them hard on the counter-attack, and that seems to be the plan.
Now that's well seen too. Xavi Alonso, the conductor, the central piece to his team's attack. Played out towards the right wing. Del Piero, looking in every way a marked man at the moment.
Yeah, and what they've got to realise, Peter, is that they won't get away with excessive force for long, so they're running a fine line now.
Played out wide. It's a sweeping... Tries a shot! Goal! Botafogo! They've done it! It was coming! They have their reward! Another moment of magic, a real wow moment.
Well, I think he was saying to his teammates, how dare you doubt me?
Botafogo leading now.
Yeah, I always felt this was coming. There was a clear increase in both intensity and tempo. Now all they need is to try and maintain it.
Back where it came from. Opts to play it back. Adriano. Can he get it through?
Botafogo surely have to be commended for their drive.
It's Adriano! Tries to get it clear. Well, that has not gone well. Good ball, good take. Deftly away. Taken back almost at once. And that's really well manoeuvred. Now, can they get him away? And he was quick to react. Now it's Messi. Adriano. And he thumps it clear.
I thought it was going to happen then. How many more chances can they realistically expect now?
2 minutes to be added on. Batistuta. Schmeichel breathes a sigh of relief as he gets his hands on the ball. That's that, the end.